But I mean, talking about another theory that we have no idea what's going to happen. You are a proponent of graphene. Like
Oh
you
my
talk,
God.
yeah, you've talked about it like a fair amount on Timcast that I've seen. Like, what is it actually? Like exactly, and like why do you believe that that is the future?
I would encourage anyone that's listening to look it up online for a picture under images just to follow along. It's a mono layer of atomic carbon. So it's latticed hexagonally. It looks like a honeycomb. And it's just one atom thick. So this mono layer, monoatomic layer, I guess you would call it. And it's an incredibly powerful structure. It's stronger than steel. It's more deformable than paper. It's lighter than, I don't know. What's lighter than It's lighter than a lot of things. And it's electrically conductive. There it is on the right. My God, look at this stuff. It's
Mm.
electrically conductive. It can store charge. It's a super capacitor. It's a capacitor as well. And you could make like clothing out of it that's touch screen. You can make wallpaper. You can make cars, strong cars. You can alloy it with all sorts of stuff. You can eat it. It's pure carbon. You can eat it. Um, it they found it when they had scotch tape and they accidentally had scotch tape on graphite and they peeled it off and it peeled off in this hexagonally layered carbon structure. Like, what is this? Like 2001 or two or something. And these scientists won the Nobel Prize for the discovery. And ever since, people have been trying to figure out, how do we mass produce this stuff? And also, what are we going to use it on? Those are the two big questions. From the research I've done, it looks like we're going to hit peak adoption in 2029. So I think the sooner we get ahead of the curve we get, the richer we could get. Like if we want to make the United States or whatever. I'm not even that nationalist. I just want to make like a sustainable system where we're using the people to build the stuff and to learn how to make it out of like flash graphene, make it out of trash, condense it from carbon dioxide and use it so that we can like we can balance the levels of carbon dioxide in the air, and then produce stuff with it and then give it away to people for free. So we kind of subsidize this new industry.
Okay, so like you're saving the planet by sucking the carbon dioxide out of the air to then use to create graphene to give away to the people.
Yeah, instead of
Mm.
mining. I think mining is not very sustainable. So I want to make sure we could mine it out of the carbon out of the earth, but I'm afraid that that would get out of hand. We could always mine it from the moon and stuff like that, but pulling it out of the air is very interesting to me. I think in New Zealand they were had success depositing onto a substrate. I'm not sure what. Um, and what concerns me is that we'll end up pulling too much carbon dioxide out of the air if we go that route, and then we'll start to compete with the trees for the carbon dioxide. We'll be like, we need to burn more oil, we need to burn more coal, we need more carbon dioxide. But if we know that going into it and we plan ahead for it, I think we can balance it out so that we just reuse the carbon dioxide that we're creating and kind
Mm.
of bring it down to a good level for the trees.
Yeah, I mean something that I've read about was that like the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere like 50 million or 100 million years ago was like way more intense, and I can't remember why. I think it's because like the amount of like stuff that volcanoes were like spewing out of out of the ground, and it meant that like plants and trees grew like stupid big because like they had so much carbon dioxide to absorb, and it was like so intense that and like that's something that Carolyn Steele, who wrote this great book Zootopia, talked about. She was talking about how like the increased carbon dioxide in our air is making like plants and like crops and stuff like grow bigger,
Oh, wow.
but like it doesn't make them better. It doesn't make them more healthy. It just makes them bigger, just because of the like there's extra carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, so they have more. They've more because like plants need like carbon dioxide and light to photosynthesize. That's all they need really, basically, and water. But like that, she was saying how it's like fast food for plants, so it makes them go big, but it's not healthy for them.
Oh, wow. We're making the plants fat.
Mm.
Oh, obesity truly is a global epidemic.
Yeah, and then there's like a thing that's going on right now where the world is actually like greening. There's more like greenery on the planet than there has been for a while because of the extra carbon dioxide. But that could also be just because like of ice melting in places like Siberia and Greenland and whatnot, and there's like more exposed greenery, I
Yeah,
guess.
it definitely seems like we're coming out of the ice age. That
Yeah.
Utah study, and there may have been more. That was the first one I found that says we're still in the ice age and we're in an interglacial period where that things are still melting is very interesting. I was for a long time worried about the temperature rising, but I think it's supposed to.
Yeah, I mean the temperature rising, like just alone, doesn't really concern me as much as like the pollution, the acidification of the oceans, and just like what happens to like our ecosystems, because like they can hold on, like the Earth will be here a long time after humans, probably, unless
I,
humans get like super fucking amazing. But like what concerns me more is like what happens when the temperature is rising faster than ecosystems can keep up with. We might be going through this like period of like weird like ecological upheaval that I'm not sure that we're ready for.
Yeah, microplastics are a problem. But I was reading a study that they figured out how to turn microplastics into, I think, back into gas by electrifying them in a solution. Might have even been salt water, and then so those should be pretty easy to deal with if we can get our act together.
Thanks so much for listening. If you haven't already and you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this podcast and to our mailing list. And don't forget, my book, Brexit, The Establishment Civil War, is now available for pre-order on Amazon. You'll find the link in the description below. Until next time, thanks so much for listening.